Howdy, welcome back. I'm going to try to keep this one relatively short. I've tried to do this video several times and very long-winded. This one I'm going to do on the current gun control legislation that's being proposed by Dianne Finkelheimer. She wants to ban so-called high-capacity magazines, which, by the way, coincidentally, when I bought my AR, it came with a 30-round magazine, so I'm considering those to be standard capacity. I consider anything like 50-round, 100-round drums to be high capacity. I don't think you need them. I think they're kind of stupid. The concept for civilian use, I do believe that 50-round drums are stupid. But that does not equate to me saying that I don't believe people should be allowed to own them. Just because you don't need something doesn't make a difference. I don't need an AR-15. I don't need a computer. I don't need to own my own home. I don't need a car, a sports car. But it's not the Bill of Needs. It's the Bill of Rights. You have a right to own as an American citizen, as a human being, it's a concept that we fail to understand. You may be an American citizen, but you're a human being first and foremost. You have certain basic human rights. You know, somebody swings at you, you have the right to defend yourself. Somebody pulls a gun on you, you have the right to defend yourself. And the police, and the military, any law enforcement or military personnel, one of the key points of training that they get on use of force is to meet force with equal or greater force. In other words, if you're a cop and somebody swings on you, you bring out your baton or your billy club. Somebody pulls a knife, you taser maybe. In the case of some cops that don't want to jump right to a gun. Obviously, if somebody pulls out a gun, the cop pulls out his gun and hopefully meets them with greater skill. A gun is a gun is a gun. Realistically speaking, a bad guy pulls out a gun, you have no choice but to pull out a gun yourself. So you have a basic human right to defend yourself, but you also have a right as an American citizen to defend yourself with a firearm. And I don't mean that just as in from physical harm. You also have a right to defend yourself from tyranny. The Second Amendment guarantees you the right to keep and bear arms, but the Federalist Papers explain it a little bit further. If you get a chance to read those, I recommend them for anybody. It gives you a better idea of the mindset of the framers of the Constitution. As far as I know, you won't get in trouble for looking them up, and none of this CIA conspiracy theory Big Brother's watching you. So far they're not pounding on my door. And I do a lot of research on a lot of rather touchy subjects. So, I don't think you're going to get in any trouble over it. The current proposed legislation, as I said, bans these. It also bans this. This being a modern sporting rifle, chambered in .223, 5.56 NATO. Actually, this is a 5.56. Now, it doesn't ban me owning it. Excuse me. It doesn't ban me owning it. What it does is it prohibits, or it restricts my ability to pass it down to my kids. If that bill passes, I will be the last owner of this firearm. Once I pass, I won't be able to sell this gun while I'm alive, from my understanding. But once I pass, I won't be able to give it to my kids. It'll have to be turned into the government to be destroyed. I think that's bullshit. I worked really hard to get this gun. I put in long hours of overtime to pay for this gun. So, and I've wanted this gun for quite some time, and since I'm not rich, it's been hard to afford. And I want to pass it down to my kids someday, hopefully. So that's one of the pieces of the legislation I don't agree with. the registration as well. All firearms are to be registered, I guess, under the proposed legislation. Now, we all understand that registration leads to confiscation, but considering the previous aspect of the bill that I mentioned, the inability to pass it down to your kids, the confiscation is kind of probably not going to happen. There's going to be no need because pretty much any firearm capable of defending you will be taken out of civilian circulation within one generation. What was the other one? The 150 or 200 guns or whatever that were banned, and then they specifically stated guns that were to be protected still for hunting purposes. And Joe Biden with his little, you might miss with a 223, but if you've got a double barrel shotgun, you can defend yourself. Touching on that, if you have a 95-pound woman trying to sling around a double barrel shotgun, I don't know how many of you have actually held and or fired a double barrel 12 gauge. They are not light. They're heavy and they're unwieldy. They are not a self-defense, not by any means. And let's not mention the fact that if there's more than 2 assailants, people coming into your home, a double barrel shotgun is really not going to do you any good. Even a pump shotgun, which I'm okay with a pump shotgun for home defense, it's great. Not a double barrel. That's one of the most ridiculous arguments I think I've heard yet. Now, all in all, I really don't think the bill is going to go very far. So people, have gone on this major gun buying, ammo hoarding thing, and realistically, the only thing that this propaganda has done is reinforce our core belief that we are allowed to own firearms. Sales, from my understanding, gun sales have been up 800%. Obama's first re-election, when people were all like, "Oh, he's gonna take our guns," sales were up 300%, and that was astronomical at the time. I'm currently looking for a Glock 19, not finding them. I found a box of 223 tonight. This is the first box of 223 I've seen on a shelf in over a month. Haven't seen any 22 long rifle on the shelf for at least 2 weeks. So, they've succeeded in bolstering sales, seriously. The gun industry right now is thriving. So, congratulations on that. Good job. But I can't shoot any of my guns because until tonight I haven't been able to find any ammo to replace, my very, very small stockpile. Was under 500 rounds, to be honest with you. And for an AR, any of you ever shoot an AR, 500 rounds is not a stockpile. 500 rounds is a day at the range, a short day at that. 22, I'd keep 1,000 rounds or so on hand. And out of a Ruger 10/22, 1,000 rounds is, again, a day at the range, and a short day at that. Keep a small amount of 9mm ammo for home defense, and a little bit for plinking, but since I can't replace it, I can't go to the range. It's pissing me off. So, you guys just calm down a little bit. Things will pass. They're not going to be able to get this bill through. So, that's my 2 cents on that. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe not as informative as that I liked it. Would have liked it to have been, but like I said, there's my 2 cents. Enjoy. Have a good one. Until next time.